Actually started when I was very young. I was afraid of thunderstorms. And I grew up on the East Coast of the US, and experiencing a hurricane where the winds were blowing all over the place until the eye came over, and then it just died, no wind at all. And to wake up the next morning seeing, branches and tree frogs all over the place, it just hooked me. I was afraid of it, so I read more and more about it, and eventually it became a career. I went to Rutgers University, and as an undergraduate, I learned two fundamental things. One is I love the science. All the things that we have to do in the field are very exciting. But I also learned, more importantly, that I'm a terrible forecaster. And so instead of going into weather forecasting, I went into research and teaching. A green career is very rewarding in that you are getting to think about the environment and how it interacts with the communities and with society. And you get to provide direct information to the public, to decision makers, that help them best understand how to help the communities survive and be productive, but also protect the environment itself. I was brought here under a grant that was a collaboration between university professors in the Department of Atmospheric Sciences and water survey scientists. And that gave me the ability to do both, to work in a cutting edge field, but at the same time have a direct input to the public, and giving direct feedback to those who need information. So it was very fortuitous. Really, all biological life, all aspects of the environment are affected by the atmosphere in some way. We're also often asking people, try to explain something to us about life on Earth that's not affected by the atmosphere, and you really get very short lists. So by nature then, atmospheric sciences is important from a green standpoint. Atmospheric sciences and climate sciences in general really are hand in hand with the economy of societies and individuals. There were a few studies that were recently conducted that were looking at, how important are weather forecasts to society. And these studies generally find several tens of billions of dollars are saved in the United States by accurate forecasts. A lot of the research we do feeds into producing better forecasts, looking at the climate for a particular area and how to better forecast not only what the weather tomorrow will be, but what it might be next season. To me, sustainability means that not only are you using resources available to you that Earth provides, but you are providing the resources for future generations at the same time. A good example of that is solar energy, for example. The sun is, compared to our lifetimes, the sun is a very long-lived feature. That resource is always available to us. So if we can use it to convert into energy, it doesn't take away from the people next generation from using the same resource. Green careers, in my view, are just going to become that much more important with time. Society is growing bigger all the time. There are more and more people and communities needing to use Earth's resources. In order to continue to do that indefinitely, we're going to have to develop the best strategies for using our resources in a green way, in a sustainable way. I can't see how green careers are going to decrease in need. I think they're going to become that much more important with time. A lot of what the research I do is trying to understand what the atmosphere does and how it changes with time. It's a huge mystery, partly because you can't see it. The atmosphere is clear from our standpoint. You always are putting together pieces of information, pieces of data that you have to put together to understand what's happening and how the atmosphere is reacting to the Earth. And I also love flying in aircraft through storms in order to take measurements. So it's fun.